Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another vibrant episode of the Miss English podcast. I am your host, Sachata, and oh my goodness, do we have a powerful session planned for you today. We are diving into the heart of what makes or breaks your fluency journey, your mindset. Joining me in the studio today is a very special guest, someone who has seen the transformation of hundreds of students firsthand. Please welcome the insightful and always inspiring Mr. Saruan.
Thank you so much, Sachata. It is truly a pleasure to be here. I can feel the energy in this room already. You know, I always say that learning English is 10% mechanics and 90% psychology.
90%? Wow, that is a huge statement, Mr. Saruan. I think many of our listeners are probably used to focusing purely on grammar books and vocabulary lists. Why do you say it's mostly psychology?
Well, think about it. Most people stop learning not because they aren't smart enough, but because they are afraid. They are afraid of looking foolish, afraid of making a mistake, or they have this fixed mindset that tells them they simply aren't language people.
I hear that so often. Students tell me, Sachata, I'm too old, or my brain just doesn't work that way. It's like they've built a wall before they even start the race.
Exactly. That wall is the mindset we need to tear down today. To learn English fast, and I mean really fast, you have to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. You have to fall in love with your mistakes.
Fall in love with mistakes? That sounds terrifying to most people. Can you explain how someone can actually start to enjoy making a mistake?
It's all about perspective. Imagine a toddler learning to walk. Every time they fall, do they think, oh, I'm just not a walker? No, they get back up. In English learning, every mistake is a data point. It's a signal that says, hey, here is a little area where I can grow. If you aren't making mistakes, you aren't pushing your boundaries.
Inspired. I love that analogy. It's about being curious rather than being judgmental of ourselves. But let's get practical for a moment. If I'm a student feeling stuck, what is the first mental shift I need to make tonight?
Intently. The first shift is to stop studying English and start living English. Most students treat English like a school subject, like history or math, but English is a tool for connection. Warmly, you need to connect it to your emotions, your hobbies, and your daily life.
So instead of memorizing a list of verbs, maybe I should be watching a movie that makes me cry or listening to a podcast about a topic I actually care about?
Energetically, precisely. If you are passionate about the content, your brain stays engaged. Your affective filter, that's a fancy term for your stress level, goes down. When you are relaxed and having fun, your brain absorbs language like a sponge.
That makes so much sense. I've noticed that when I'm stressed, I can barely remember my own name, let alone a second language. But Mr. Saruan, what about the speed? Our topic is about learning English fast.
With conviction. Speed comes from consistency and immersion. But here's the secret. Immersion doesn't mean you have to move to America or England. You can create an English island right in your own home.
An English island? That sounds intriguing. Tell us more about how we built this island.
Smiling. Change your phone settings to English. Talk to yourself while you're cooking. Describe what you're doing. Now I am chopping the onions. Now I am boiling the water. It sounds silly, but you are training your brain to stop translating from your native language and start thinking directly in English.
I actually do that. Sometimes I have full conversations with my cat in English. He's a very good listener, even if his grammar isn't great.
See? Your cat is helping you become fluent. But seriously, that inner monologue is where the magic happens. If you can change the language of your thoughts, your speaking speed will double almost overnight.
Seriously, but what about the fear of judgment? Even if I practice at home, the moment I step outside and talk to a real person, my heart starts racing. How do we handle that feeling?
Softly and sincerely. So Chata, we have to realize that most people are not judging us. They're actually rooting for us. When you see someone trying to speak your language, do you think they look stupid? No, you think they are brave. You appreciate the effort.
That is such a beautiful way to look at it. It's an act of courage and an act of connection. We are trying to bridge the gap between two human beings.
Firmly, exactly. So shift your focus from yourself to the other person. Instead of thinking, how do I sound? Think, how can I help this person understand me?
It takes the pressure off your ego and puts the focus on communication.
Brightly, this is so powerful. I want to talk about the plateau. You know, that moment where you've learned the basics, but you feel like you aren't improving anymore. How do we keep our mindset positive when progress feels slow?
Wisely, the plateau is actually a sign that you are consolidating your knowledge. It's like a plane reaching cruising altitude. With passion, to break through, you need to increase the difficulty of your input. If you always listen to easy English, you'll stay at that level. Challenge yourself with something just a little bit harder every day.
Nods. Like a muscle, you have to lift heavier weights to get stronger. Mr. Saruan, we have many listeners who are working full-time jobs. They feel they don't have hours to study. Can mindset help them find time?
Knowingly, you don't need hours, you need moments. A growth mindset looks at a 5-minute bus ride as an opportunity to listen to one English song. It looks at a coffee break as a chance to write 3 sentences in a journal. It's about the identity of being a learner, not the schedule of being a student.
I love that. Identity over schedule. If you identify as someone who speaks English, you will find ways to do it naturally throughout your day.
Yes. Stop saying, I am trying to learn English. Start saying, I am an English speaker in training. The words we use to describe ourselves have a massive impact on our reality.
That can really feel the shift in my own mind just listening to you. It's about confidence, but not the kind of confidence that comes from being perfect. It's the confidence that comes from knowing you can handle being imperfect.
Warmly. That is the most profound thing I've heard today, Suchata. Perfect is the enemy of fast. If you wait for perfection, you will wait forever. If you embrace the messiness, you will be fluent before you know it.
Smiling. We are coming towards the end of our time, but I want to ask one more thing. If there is one person listening right now who feels like giving up, what is your heart-to-heart message to them?
Softly and with deep emotion. I would say, look back at how far you've already come. You didn't give up when it was hard before, so don't give up now. Your voice matters. Your story deserves to be heard in every language. The world is waiting for you to join the conversation. Just one more step, just one more word.
That was so beautiful, Mr. Saruan. Thank you, truly thank you for sharing your heart and your wisdom with us today. I know our listeners are feeling as fired up as I am.
Kindly. It was my pleasure, Suchata. Keep shining, and to everyone listening, keep speaking.
Energetically, you heard him. Change your mindset, embrace the journey, and the fluency will follow. Thank you for tuning in to the Miss English podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with someone who needs a little boost today. Until next time, I'm Suchata, reminding you that your English journey is just beginning. With a final cheerful wave. Bye for now, and see you in the next episode.